Welcome back to another video. I hope you are well. Thank you so much for being here. Today, I am taking you all through a work day in my life. So if any of you were curious of what my day-to-day looks like Monday through Friday, or if you were considering a career in multimedia communication, I'm so glad you're here. I hope this video gives you some insight, and let me just say, I definitely recommend this as a career path. Once my morning routine is complete, which consists of the basics, coffee, makeup, skincare, cute outfit, fragrance, hygiene, all of the things, I'm going to head to work. Right off the bat, I am heading to a meeting, or rather a workshop, right away this morning. My position is tasked with managing and executing a marketing and communication strategy for a big donation campaign that my company does annually. So the purpose of this workshop was to fill communicators like me in on any updates or new features of this year, as well as provide us with some inspiration for our campaigns. My attendance for that was not mandatory, but the timing worked out well, and those things really never hurt to attend, in my opinion. That said, though, following the actual presentation, there was a social hour, and I just dipped for that. I was like, I've got things to do. I would rather sit alone in my office and be antisocial. That's just how I am. But it's at this point that I start to really get into routine. So the first thing I typically do when I get to my office is check my planner just to get my general focus set for the day. And currently I am adding a web banner to our homepage on our website, because that workshop really inspired me to start pushing messaging out to our potential donors sooner than later. So I added a little save the date banner. I love using banners on the homepage to draw attention to important, prominent messaging. They're just a really effortless way to really refine your audience's focus when they visit your platforms. Next here, what I've been doing is something I do a lot, which is just adding events to our websites. The company I work for has its own customized WordPress theme, which makes it really easy for me to do things like this. It's almost like they've already put a plugin on the website for me to do this type of task. So as you saw, all of the fields like the date and the time and the location and the title and things like that were all laid out for me. So I'm very thankful for IT, because they make my job easier that way. I work part-time for a different organization doing web development, and their website is a lot different in the sense that there's a lot more tinkering required, if you will. Another common day-to-day task that you'll see me do is design flyers. I use Canva for this because it is so easy, and their pre-designed templates really help me to avoid creative burnout when I feel like I am on the verge, because that happens often. My department at the company that I work for does a lot of events and things, so I am constantly making flyers, putting those events on the website like you just saw me do, posting those flyers on our socials, and of course printing off a few physical copies to hang up and distribute. I think I've finally found the secret sauce with my printer lately. I've found that I have to export the Canva design in a PNG and then export that into a PDF and then print for the colors to be true to the design, which sounds so extra. Definitely part of the job that I was not expecting, but we do it. The week that I was filming this, a big focus of mine was merch for my department and company. I was asked to design t-shirts as well as some stickers. So starting with the t-shirts here, I decided to go ahead and make a proof on Canva to really give my team a good visual representation of the final project, as well as to make the approval process go more smoothly. This was a really easy process using Canva. Once again, I'll plug Canva for the last time in this video, okay? If you're not using it, if you're an administrator, if you're an assistant, if you do anything involving documents or any sort of design, like newsletters, anything, use Canva. They have templates. It's so easy to use. It's so user-friendly. Just trust me and try it, because I came up with this whole proof in like a half hour. By the way, and most importantly, this resource is free to use unless you want some of their premium templates and features, or if you want to use their printing services, but I've never felt the need to do that. So highly recommend. Shifting gears a little bit, I did already have a sticker design kind of set in stone and approved already, so I was just looking into prices and delivery and things like that. I also had to plug the design into Adobe Illustrator and adjust the bleed and the pixels per inch, little things like that. Super nitpicky requirements for the printing services I used. Now that we have some of those more unusual tasks out of the way, I'm jumping to a weekly task of mine, which is just an internal newsletter. So I use Eloqua, it's called. I used to use MailChimp for a while, but they have a contact limit, which really bothered me because I need more than 500 contacts, you know what I mean? So I upgraded, I learned the new software, and it's been working great so far. I've sent out so many of these at this point, and I already have kind of a general template for the newsletter, so it's very second nature to me. It's like my right hand, you know what I mean? So I love to put on a podcast in the background. This is Tell Me How You Really Feel with our girl McKenna Walker and her man. I've been loving the honesty. I've been loving the hot takes. I've been loving that it doesn't feel scripted. Just a really easy listen as I put this together. And I just gather content from a folder in my email that I've made. I just move any sort of emails I receive that could be content into that folder. And then when it comes time to put together the letters, I will go into that folder, grab that stuff, and add it to the letters, if that makes sense. And then I also like to schedule them ahead of time rather than sending the email manually the day of. I just feel like this takes some of the stress off. I do think a really important aspect of newsletters and email campaigns is to send it at a time that works best for your audience. For a while, I was sending these letters out on Mondays, but then people were telling me that Mondays are their busiest day, so I moved it to Wednesdays instead so that people actually had time to read the content. I think coming into a new role, especially entry level like I did, you get really focused on your performance and you really just want to get all the tasks done as well as you can and as quickly as you can. The success really is in the details. Anyways though, I'm currently attending a little lunch and learn while eating my lunch. It's just a live virtual lecture on different new web development techniques, as well as updates to our WordPress theme. I then had our team's general monthly check-in meeting. It only ended up being about an hour long, which is pretty good. Sometimes they go closer to an hour and a half, but after attending that, I plugged right back in and continued with the rest of my day. By the way, this vlog does not contain any of the extra random little tasks I'll get via email just coming in throughout the day. I just wanted to include some of the more general things that I do on a more consistent basis and or things that are interesting to me, like the swag and the merch. Here I am getting back in my car to head home for the day, which is definitely a sigh of relief at the end of each day. It's always so nice to know that I'm heading back to my cozy little space. My 5 to 9 after my 9 to 5 is usually pretty consistent. This day though, rent was about to be due, so I went and dropped off a rent check, and in the main lobby area there is a little coffee machine, so I made myself a nice hot drink. And then every day after work, my boyfriend Hunter and I love to try to get outside for a nice walk, at least a mile or so we typically like to do. It's just a really good time for us to basically debrief, hang out with one another, have a conversation about our days, and get some fresh air. By the time we get back from our walk, it's usually right around dinner time, so we will then start prepping dinner, eat dinner, and then I will start to truly unwind and go into bedtime mode. So that obviously includes removing any of my makeup. I love the combo of micellar water paired with a cleansing balm. It just makes my skin feel really clean and refreshed. And then after that's over, I will just hang out with Hunter. We will watch a show, a movie, sports, or I'll just read my book. And when I get sleepy, I will go to sleep and do the whole thing all over again the next day. So that is going to conclude this workday in my life. Thank you so much for being here and watching and hanging out with me for the day. I really, really hope you all enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Definitely comment down below any questions you have about this career or just my day-to-day. I would love to chat. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day and week, and I will see you very soon in the next one.